With the latest chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex out, there is a lot to uncover and break down for chapter 29. This chapter in particular feels extremely important because it isn't just about action or flashy moments, it's about choices, consequences, and the kind of future Boruto is slowly walking towards. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe because I'm shooting for 5K, like the video, and comment down below your thoughts on these leaks. Getting into the chapter, we immediately see Boruto in conversation with Momoshiki, and the title itself makes it very clear what kind of interaction this is, which is a negotiation. This is not Boruto being possessed or overwhelmed. This is Boruto making a calculated decision. The question at the center of this conversation is simple but heavy. Will Momoshiki lend Boruto his power? And, as expected, Momoshiki doesn't give anything for free. He asks Boruto straight up if he's willing to give him his body in exchange. Boruto answers yes, but with a condition: only if Momoshiki helps him defeat Jura. This alone tells us a lot about Boruto's current mindset. Boruto knows his limits. He understands that no matter how strong he's become, he cannot defeat Jura by himself. This isn't arrogance or desperation, it's realism. Boruto isn't denying reality anymore, he needs Momoshiki's power, and he's willing to shoulder the risk. That's a massive contrast to early Boruto, who rejected everything tied to karma and the Otsutsuki. Boruto then goes even deeper, telling Momoshiki that he understands him. He says that Momoshiki has no hope for the future and that he wants Boruto dead so he can finally disappear from the world. That line is important because Boruto isn't insulting him, he's acknowledging his existence. Boruto understands that Momoshiki is trapped, lingering in a future where he no longer truly belongs. And instead of rejecting that truth, Boruto accepts it. Boruto continues by saying that if he sets Momoshiki free, the situation completely changes. The Shinju are not just a threat to the world, they're a threat to both of them. This is where the negotiation becomes mutual. It's no longer Boruto begging for power, it's Boruto explaining that their survival is intertwined. If the Shinju win, neither Boruto nor Momoshiki truly benefit. Momoshiki admits that Boruto convinces him, but then he immediately adds the catch. After the Shinju are dealt with, Kawaki will come after him, and Momoshiki makes it very clear that he will not allow that. There's no hesitation, no ambiguity. Momoshiki's hatred and awareness of Kawaki's intentions are absolute. What's interesting here is Boruto's reaction. We see Boruto stare at Momoshiki and simply ask if they have a deal. There's no argument, no emotional outbursts, just acceptance. In the very next panel, the deal is struck. Boruto manifests the karma, and Momoshiki tells him that if it allows them to root out their enemies even 1 second sooner, then Boruto should use the karma or whatever else he'd like. This line is huge. It implies freedom. Momoshiki is not micromanaging Boruto, he's giving him access. At this point, Boruto officially has Momoshiki's help. The cost, however, is massive: Kawaki's life. And realistically, there is no way Boruto intends to let that happen. Boruto has always been someone who looks for another path, another answer. So while the deal is in place, I'm pretty sure Boruto's already thinking about a loophole. Some way to keep Kawaki alive without breaking the agreement outright. But remember, Momoshiki is sneaky, and the chapter makes sure we don't forget that. We see it in the way Momoshiki looks at Boruto when Boruto tells him how serious he is. Momoshiki knows Kawaki wants to kill him, and also knows that if Boruto dies, then that's the end for him as well. Their lives are tied together whether they like it or not. That's why this deal feels so unstable. I'm really curious to see how Boruto plans to stop Momoshiki from killing Kawaki when the time comes. What makes this even more interesting is that this deal seems to still be in place later on. Remember, in the first chapter, Boruto is able to use karma and the Byakugan simultaneously. That heavily implies cooperation. Either Boruto and Momoshiki are actively working together, or Boruto has gained a level of control that we've never seen before. Once Boruto's karma manifests, we see a parallel to his fight against Mamushi. Mamushi becomes visually agitated, telling Boruto to get out of the way, and even calling him a damn Otsutsuki. That insult alone is ironic, considering Boruto's entire struggle has been rejecting that very identity. Mamushi's clone is hit with a Rasengan and is completely destroyed. There's no struggle, it's clean and decisive. Mamushi then multiplies, and Boruto speed blitzes him, getting behind him and cutting multiple heads off in a single swoop. This is Boruto at his peak efficiency. No wasted movement, no hesitation, just precision. Boruto then unveils his Byakugan, using it to locate more Mamushi clones and throwing shurikens that strike Mamushi directly in the back of his head. The Byakugan here isn't just for vision, it's a tool for domination. Boruto then uses Flying Thunder God to teleport and land a supergiant Rasengan on 3 Mamushi clones. This moment is a direct homage to Minato doing the same thing to Obito. And what makes it even better is that this isn't the first time Boruto has mirrored Minato's fighting styles in the series. This brings up an important question. Is this Byakugan just a basic one, or is it something different? Boruto is a perfect Otsutsuki, and this is Momoshiki's Byakugan. There's a strong chance this eye has capabilities we haven't fully seen yet. What makes this reveal even more impactful is the fact that we haven't seen Boruto open his eye in years. For the past 3 years, it's been closed. The reason Boruto can now unveil it is clearly tied to Momoshiki. During their conversation, Momoshiki told Boruto to use the karma or whatever else he'd like. Boruto taking advantage of that and accessing Momoshiki's Byakugan isn't far-fetched at all. It feels like a natural progression of their deal. Mamushi then talks to himself, noting that his numbers went down in a single shot and realizing that it's Boruto. Mamushi says he doesn't care because Boruto isn't who he has business with. Mamushi's true target is Ada. But before he can reach her, he's suddenly shot with 2 rods straight through his eye. That's when Kawaki makes his entrance. Kawaki immediately engages Mamushi, and the fight is brutal from the start. Kawaki manifests his karma and declares that Mamoshi's extermination will now commence in Area C. Mamushi multiplies again and jumps toward Kawaki, to which Kawaki calmly remarks that the bug can fly. What follows is pure destruction. Kawaki obliterates Mamushi, punching their heads clean off with overwhelming force. He shoots 4 rods through Mamoshi's eyes, mouth, and head, then adds 2 more into his back. The sheer violence of this reinforces exactly who Kawaki is. He isn't hesitating. He isn't questioning. He's executing. Kawaki then manifests his staff, grabbing it as the fight continues, showing complete control over his power and his intent. The moment perfectly contrasts Boruto and Kawaki. Boruto is negotiating, strategizing, and searching for balance. Kawaki is erasing threats without a second thought. Kawaki neutralizes the threat with his staff with ease, clearing 3 heads off. Then we jump into a conversation with Mitsuki and Kubo, with Kubo saying there was no malfunction on Boruto's cuff when he was in custody. Kubo tells Mitsuki that he intentionally freed Boruto and asking how Mitsuki obtained the 4-digit code. I don't think Mitsuki will give up any information on Boruto, and he will probably knock Kubo out as soon as he gets word from Inojin that Boruto is in danger or Kawaki. We get to see Himawari fight Mamushi, which she is using Kurama as her whiskers are flared up as well as her hair. I'm curious to see how far she goes in this fight based on how she handled herself with Jura, and if she could even handle her own against Mamushi, or is this a predicted outcome of her dying. But I don't believe she will die against Mamushi, as it would be detrimental to the story, but I do believe she can win against these clones. And lastly, we have Inojin saying this will be a piece of cake, showing happiness on how things are unfolding. But Kashin Koji does not say anything, and him being silent speaks volume. As we know, he cannot say much as it changes the timeline, and he is not always right. I believe something might change, like Ada getting captured and becoming a Shinju. But what do you guys think? Comment down below your thoughts on this. I would love to see it. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on Twitter as I'm active there as well. I'll see you guys in the next one.